What's happening? What's happening? Hey, this is J Melane, also known as Wise, and welcome to Wise Going Live at 5. Our mission is to empower and to inspire others by broadcasting live. So this podcast actually stemmed from the book entitled "Where," as you can see on my shirt. This book is a book about identifying, I guess you said, state of being, and for the state of being in your mind, the state of being in where you are in your life. And actually, the book identify a lot of things, especially with relationships, dealing with parents and children, and also dealing with the standpoint of relationships within schools and how the school system impacts young people, positive and negative. So it's a great book. And of course, below the like button, you can see the descriptions of that, and you're willing to go ahead and do a pre-order of the book. Where, trust me, it'll be a blessing for you and other people, and allow y'all to reflect on things too. So again, welcome to Wise. It's going live at 5. Have an amazing guest. This is February. We're talking about Black History Month. So I have an author here that actually is going to take us back and give us some historical information about an amazing book that she authored. So I want y'all guys to really pay attention, take your notes. Guess what? You can ask questions as well. So feel free to ask questions and stuff. So I ain't going to hold you much longer. So like I said before, all the information you will know about the show, how to get the orders of the book, how to contact the author, even get in contact with me, will be in the description on there, just below the like button. When I said like button, go ahead, hit that like button. Share this, because we're growing the community, and we appreciate all those subscribers and everybody who supporting Wise is going live at 5. So I'm gonna hold you much longer. So let's go. Wow, I got amazing guests here. Cheryl W. Brooks. She is the author of Chicken Bone Beach. And that right there should, get your interest going, make your brain Chicken Bone Beach. I guarantee you're going to learn a lot more. Just pay attention. But before we go into the detail of the book and everything like that, we want Cheryl to introduce herself. So Cheryl, let everybody know who you are.
First, thanks for having me. I'm really honored to be part of this show. I am Cheryl Woodruff Brooks, and my career changed in 2016 when I became a published author of a book about a historical Black beach in Atlantic City called Chicken Bone Beach. So it all began with me looking for a thesis subject, and it just seems like there was divine intervention. Just small things happened, and the light bulb kind of went off. So I was visiting a friend in Philadelphia. We went into a gallery. They were showing an exhibit of black and white photos, and they struck our attention. And we went in and took a look at them, and thus the journey began. So as a student, I started to research the segregated beach as well as other segregated beaches across the United States. Since then, I have authored 5 books of my own. One is independent, the others are with Sunbury Press, and I've contributed to 2 other books. So a total of 7, all non-fictional. Um, so I have coined myself the literary mermaid and continue to make my mission to serve humanity by providing historical knowledge, in particular about Black beaches, because that's enough in one lifetime, in my opinion, and all things entertainment that encompass nonfiction work.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Wow. See, y'all got it. I did not know about you have worked along in actually 7 books that you have been part of. Seven, that's a perfect number, right? The number of
Yes, yes,
completion. That perfect number, you hit 7. I know you're gonna do more than that because we got to hit the 8, that new beginning. So, but yeah, that's amazing. I only can imagine, like you said, it thought with an idea or a thesis, then you know what, it move on from that, move on from that. But I got some questions to ask you that we're gonna dive a little bit deeper with that. So hold on. So we got some people who actually respond in the chat. We got Lakeisha Mosey. She said, "Greeting, King Wise and Cheryl W. Brooks. Thank you for that." Then we
hey, look,
have Mary. Hey, what's up? What's going on? She said hello. So thank you very much. Make sure you share to the community and bring more people in so they can learn more about this historical moments we're gonna be talking about today. So all right now, I'm gonna ask my first question. So Cheryl, can you share with us the moment you realized that writing and history was your passion and how these interests have shaped your professional path?
so that's a really loaded question in my case.
Take
So,
your time. We got all day.
I said life comes full circle, and that's how it was for me because as a child, uh, I started writing, and I wasn't even considering it as a career at the time. I was enjoying writing poetry and songs because that's where I started songwriting. So I remember reading the back of like one of my mom's magazines, the National Enquirer, and I submitted a song I wrote to some place on the back of the newspaper. And they sent back this contract. So my parents sat me down. I was about 12 and started to explain to me, importance of copyrights, yada yada yada. So that's where it kind of began. And then as a means of financing my college career, in some cases, I won essay scholarships. So in high school, I won an essay scholarship, Martha Holton Jennings. I got my MBA. I won another um, essay scholarship from the National Black MBA Association to help pay. So I kind of been riding along this writing path, but pursuing other skill sets in academia. So I didn't become involved in um, history till much, much later in my 40s. Um, and American Studies, of all things, is what I got my Master's of Arts in much, much, much later in life. And, I kind of, you know, it's funny how you plan your life and there God is right above you orchestrating everything just as he knew it should go. So that's why I say it's full circle. So much later in life, the whole history thing, it makes perfect sense now. And I didn't see that. Um, so that's kind of, yeah, the history came way, 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 way later in life. And the funny part, okay, the divine part is that I did not care for social studies from K through 12 or whatever because I noticed then the gap in history about my race and my ancestors. So I wasn't going to make bad grades because I wasn't that kind of kid and my mom wasn't having it. But it just was like in one ear and out the other. I took no interest. So I think I kind of swung it. It was coming back my way at some point in life. And that's okay. Everything makes sense much later. So I went off to undergrad and chose journalism as my uh, major and switched over to business. So yeah, interesting.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
interesting. Now, I got a question that stemmed off the scholarship, since you have been awarded scholarships for your essays that since high school, way back then. How have these recognitions influenced your confidence and commitment to writing and research?
Oh, I think those were little sprints thrown my way. I think those were sprints, those essays, um, because at some point I would have to write and research again, and it came in college. Those tools were very useful, and I grew up in the inner city, Cleveland public schools. Thank you, Jesus, for throwing me in like the excuse me, what did they call it? The honor classes, I don't know what I would have done in college. So I really think my ability to write a compelling opinion backed with research at a young age was very, very helpful. And I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, that's what I think those were early sprints in my life. Um, but no sooner than I got to undergrad, I had to write, I had to research. So it just kept going and kept going. I think when you're doing what you love, you don't think about the time so much. So that's a really important thing I recognize now later in life too. I actually like doing those things together, writing and research.
See, I love that. Cause see, by what you saying now, this explain why you went into the book. Cause them little sprints you have there prepare you for, like you said, the divine intervention, that path that allow you to be able to create a masterpiece of a product, what I call Chicken Bone Beach. It for that book itself. So we want to take a deep dive in that real quick. So all right, what inspired you to write Chicken Bone Beach, and how did your approach to the research for this historical history of Atlantic City African American community?
Yeah, I think I've always loved beaches. I think that's where it began. Before I discovered the pictures in Philadelphia, before I decided later in life to, go back to school, I always loved beaches. My grandmother was a lifeguard. She always would take my sister and I, near the lake, and there were beaches. So I kind of grew up loving being near water. So I think I carried that in my heart and it never left. So I think the love of beaches was deep in my heart, and somehow I got to, serve mankind, learning about it. Um, I used to love watching like those beach party movies as a little bitty kid with Annette Funicello, and I forget all those folks' names, but like Stevie Wonder would play his harmonica behind. I'd be in the living room doing the twist. Me and my sister, I wish I grew up somewhere like that. So yeah, it's just some of the things I was internally passionate about, but not necessarily pursuing in life. It came together. Um, so I think that's the deeper side of it. And I think when I saw the pictures in Philadelphia, uh, I had already determined that my thesis would have to be about my own racist history. I wanted to do something positive. I wanted to tell the world something amazing about us. And I could have picked a million things, but this fell into my hands and I ran with it. Uh, um, it just felt like ding, the light bulb went off when I was looking for a thesis, because I was on my way to doing some hip hop history stuff. Because I feel like I identify,
Come on now, you're talking my language there, but go ahead.
yeah, I identify as a hip hopper. So I don't follow the white demographics. I don't identify whatever that is, a Generation X. If you were born between, yeah, I'm not a baby boomer. I'm not old enough. I'm like the one under whatever that is. So yeah, I define by I'm a hip hopper. So my professors were saying hip hop isn't old enough. I said, yes, it is. It's a half a century old. They want me to go way, way back. That's old enough. So we'll see how that squeezes into my life. But so I was on my way of looking for a hip hop research topic when Chicken Bone Beach just came my way, and as soon as I saw the pictures, they were beautiful and stylish black people on the beach, and I ain't been getting to see no happy black people in my whole academia. That's all I'm feeling when I see them. So I'm like, wow, where is this? Who are these beautiful people? It I couldn't ask for a greater opportunity. Seize opportunities, people, when they feel right. Seize them when they feel right. Um, and yeah, I just ran with it. You know, all of this it's when your heart's in the right place, it's bigger than you anyway. So
When your heart in the right place is bigger than you. Come on now.
so yeah, I have appreciated the way this all came together. Yeah.
Uh,
And in that moment, I'm like, I'm this is different than me pursuing what I want. I'm supposed to be doing this, like how I thought about it. Hmm.
Yeah, and you're supposed to be doing this, and that was saying your ability to research, your ability to bring out, I guess you say, different moments in time. That's what I like to say, and be able to bring it forth so others can to relate to it. So I'm gonna hold you to that hip hop one because what you did with Chicken Bone Beach is amazing. So only can imagine when you do book number 8, the new beginning, how you can bring around hip hop and bring I guess you'll say the culture to our eyes. So I'm looking forward for that. But I love, like you said, it's your heart and your passion to be able to pursue these things. So I want to make sure I share some comments because people are commenting on that. So we have Mary. We thank you for the comment, Mary. She said, "Love those movies. Life experiences make a difference." Come on now. All right, now y'all dropping 24 karat gold balls around here. All right, then Mary going ahead and says, "Oh, Generation S."
That's I replaced, right? I gave her one. I'm a hip hopper, right? Right? I know exactly where I was, what I was doing when I heard rap for the first time. It was on a Sunday in 1976, was it when that came out? And I was at a teen dance with my sister. And we were all trying to figure out, how do you move to this? And that's something how you can, I remember the moment.
See, mine's a little different because, like you said, you had the city experience. I am from the South. I'm a country boy at heart. But I remember when we had y'all be laughing at me when I got cable when my mother got cable TV, and there was MTV, and I think it was the MTV. I don't think it was VH1 when I saw it, but I saw the first video of Airbnb and Rakim Pay in Full. It came in on a late night session. I said, "Hold up, what this? I never heard this before." Of course the rap game, but before that with Run DMC. But the first time I saw that video, I was hooked in. That when hip hop was fun. That when hip hop was fun, and I was locked in. I didn't get the dance move. I didn't even stuff. I was just captivated, just looking at that video, like, wow. Wow, who is this? What is this? Let me get into it. Then after that, Yo and TV raps and all them things like that. So I feel you being a hip hop connoisseur, a hip hop lover.
Remember what I was like from various, what was going on politically, what was going. That's what the study of America is. That's what American studies is. But I will say one thing: book number 8, I'm already writing. That's what I'm doing this year. So it could be book number 9, maybe. But I'm knee deep into book number 8.
Awesome. I'm glad. So you already clarified to book number 8. So keep on going. We're going to work on book number 9 as well. Oh my God. We got people responding. We want to make sure we give them recognition. She said, this is Lakeisha Mosey. She said, that is very important. Seize the opportunity when they are revealed to you. Great knowledge. That was saying. Sure, dropping 24 karat gold bars in the place. And we have Rhonda Small. Hey, Rhonda, what's going on? She said hello. Thank you. And thank you for here to support. Make sure you like, make sure you share and subscribe. Rhonda, this is a community. So, you know what I'm saying? Just building community and sharing this opportunity. And we thank Cheryl for being here and talking about Chicken Bone Beach. So I have another question for you about that. So in your well, I guess you said Chicken Bone Beach. You don't say that 3 times. Chicken Bone Beach was more than just a beach. It was a cultural and social hub for African Americans during segregation. Can you describe the impact of this beach on the community and the legacy of American history?
Yeah. So, of course, I can't study segregation without studying the Black history of Atlantic City um, in totality. So, from the inception of Atlantic City, Blacks were always there. Uh, they moved there as a lot of them as freed slaves, or they served in the military when they finally, I think they let black black men in the army first, um, and the community was very integrated, and blacks and whites early 1900s lived commingled. um, it was the Jim Crow laws that pushed them to separate. So they have a really rich culture because they've been there from the beginning. um, yes, there was still racism, um, and they did follow that part of the country, follow Jim Crow laws. They were a lot milder and subtle than the South, but there definitely were, clear divided lines, between how blacks were treated and whites were treated. Um, I talk about the population of Atlantic City, and um, by the 1940s, the blacks there had, uh, a 12% middle class population. They became strong um, entrepreneurs out of need because they could not utilize anything on the south side of Atlantic City. That was the white side, and there were a railroad was built right through that too. So people say the side of the tracks. Um, so they opened their own dental offices and doctors' offices and credit unions and drugstores and taxi services. They created their own board of trade and began to market uh, their small little corner of Atlantic City as a safe haven for blacks to vacation near the water. And in other parts of the United States, blacks were doing similar things. Um, so they were listed in the Green Book, the different businesses. They offered bed and breakfasts, so you knew there was somewhere safe to stay. There was someplace nice to eat. So word got around, and so people on the surrounding states like Virginia and New York and Pennsylvania in particular, because Philly's only an hour from Atlantic City, so it was a weekend thing. And I met people who they owned properties in Atlantic City, but they lived in Philadelphia. Um, so it became just well known, and entertainers had somewhere to perform. They had choices around the United States as well. So in various places, this was also happening. So of course, I can't study one particular beach without having at least a comprehensive understanding of all the other ones that I could find. And many people have revealed other ones to me as well. So it's definitely been kind of cool So people like Sammy Davis Jr. became very popular, working on a regular in Atlantic City. And Atlantic City was like New Orleans, Bourbon Street ish, Las Vegas. It was wine, it was women, it was song. There were beautiful Black churches there, but people did not take the initiative to preserve them. Please make sure your churches are preserving their property in your state. Anybody can look into it and bring it to, the servant leader's attention. I just want to put that out there as I look at these images of these beautiful, just magnificent Baptist, Black, and Pentecostal, and different churches throughout Atlantic City that were Black and strong, and the memory of them is gone. They were just tore down and made into something else. So I'm really kind of passionate about the historic preservation, in particular churches, because if you exist for a certain amount of time, I guess you have to check into it. Then you're preserved. If you've been there for whatever 25 years, whatever, that's most cases. Okay, I'm off of that. So yeah, entertainers just flock to a place like Atlantic City. They're never closed. And a lot of corruption. I looked at everything. Mobsters. They were another Chicago, and people don't talk. Well, people know now if you watch HBO's Boardwalk Empire, they had a little bit of Chicken Bone Beach in there. They were dealing with I don't know what he did, a Black mobster guy. And I think they might have made reference at least to the north side, which is where the Blacks live. But that kind of gets out of there. But yeah, Gangster City. So met interesting people, heard amazing stories. I went and took oral history too. And this is kind of required as a part of my thesis. So I frequented Atlantic City for at least a year, going to various events and meeting people, interviewing people, from judges to professors to this sweet lady I interviewed, Mrs. Green. She was in her 90s and passed um, before I got a book deal. And I just, I feel honored that I got to catch her story, about her and her family, even though she didn't live to see it. And I also interviewed her son, and he's still alive. So he got to see it. He got to see his family in the book. So, I mean, yeah. So, um, who else? And they were I'm sorry, it was so much entertainment back then that Sammy Davis was doing 5 shows a day. Breakfast, brunch, lunch, a dinner show, like a 9 show, a late night show. They have places along the boardwalk. The whole building might just be a ballroom to dance. It was, the Blacks mimicked what white Atlantic City was doing, and taking advantage of the fact that historically, um, there weren't a lot of other entertainment competitions yet. When they were at the height of their heyday in the early 1900s, I don't think Disney had been built yet, and it was one other. Vegas wasn't, a gambling spot yet either. So, but then there was a deregulation of airlines in America, and people started to travel more. That gave people the ideal to build more entertainment type, economic, wealth in their cities. So that kind of took away from Atlantic City when people had more choices and could travel more freely. Then they thought if they went into gambling that would, sustain them, but not necessarily. So yeah, they have a very rich history, and the African Americans were very much the definition of community. Very much.
Wow, that I love that. Like you said about community, and you just dropped some 24 karat gold balls on the historical standpoint. And I want to share some things with you that's in the comments. Then I'm going to share something else as well. So we got Val Divorce. Thank you, Val, for joining us. And you said great historical information, Cheryl. Nice. Then she also had a comment here. She said, "My mom left the Jim Crow South via Arkansas." So wow. And let me see the next one. Oh, Mary said, "I love this or history." You just talked about it. I'm talking about it right there. And then we're gonna go to, let me see, Mary again. This was supporting. We are always tearing down instead of persevering. Oh God, she's telling the truth. She is telling the truth so much, and you gave the charge to us. Make sure we take care of these things. Look into these things. Then we got another comment in from Lakeisha Mosley. Great inspiration interview, King Wise and Cheryl. Thank you so much. And what Cheryl was talking about is so amazing. So we're gonna I'm gonna share something real quick so she gets some point before we go into our interlude part of it. So wow, this is the cover of Cheryl book, the Chicken Bone Beach, and you see the amazing cover there. And you know, it captured pretty much everything just from that first cover. So it's amazing. So those who are looking right now, this is the cover of that amazing book. And this, I'm going to share some photos, and this is a photo of we seeing ladies and one young child out there in the ocean water. You know, they smiling. I think most of the photography is done by John Mosley. John Dublin Mosley. So I want to give him, props for doing these amazing. I think he did it from the 20s to the 60s, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think the 20s.
Also refers to the Charles blocks of Afro-American Library at Temple University, which is where they are housed, and they are the owners of these images.
Awesome. And let me go because I want to share something right here. This is an amazing photo right there. Like the family unit. You see how they dress at the beach back then? You know, they got, the tie, the dress. Oh, fashion back then. And let me go forward, and we see a brother got his boat, and the lady on the boat. So you know what I'm saying, we were doing the things back then. He had his boat and took the picture of that. Now I want y'all to be prepared for this. She just talked about Sammy Davis Jr. And you see that's a photo of him having a young lady up, holding up at that time. So he's enjoying the beach life. And then we got one more photo I wanted to share with y'all guys as well. This right here. Do y'all recognize the guy on the far corner over there with the hat on? I think we just celebrated his birthday in January, Martin Luther King. So, saying he was there celebrating and being there in the beach life as well. Cheryl, what's your thoughts about the photos I showed? Now, she got tons of photos in this amazing book, but I would love the few photos that I talked just shown. What's your thoughts about them before we go and take a quick break?
So I probably should have mentioned this, or could have mentioned it the last time. When we talked about Atlantic City being a social hub, it was also a civil hub too. So the Blacks that were part of this board of trade they created, they began hosting events. So for years one year they hosted a Democratic National Convention, the Blacks in Atlantic City. They also hosted an event called Omega by the Sea. I believe they were doing that in the 50s. So yeah, they were so well known. They'd host big events, and influential people came to Atlantic City. Atlantic City from the moment they decided to start building these huge hotels and businesses across um, the shore, the people came. I read that Prince Albert honeymooned in Atlantic City, just to show you in that 40 to 50-year period how they just really stood out. So a strong Black race and a large number of them is a great place for a politician to go, for a religious leader to go, for people in the civil rights movement advocacy groups to be. There's thousands of Blacks gathered on the beach. All the businesses in their little north side area were Black. The churches were strong. And, like the early 70s, 60s, the church was that where you pulled the Black community into the political knowledge. That's where you educated them. So ministers would go to churches and be given a minute to say a few remarks, but that's how they made the connect too. So why wouldn't Dr. Martin Luther King be there if that's where so many influential Blacks and a strong Black-owned snippet of people are all gathered together? So that's why I think um, he was there. But the beach was known for, um, I say it was a bourbon street, but it was also a celebrity hub. You could be chilling on the beach in Atlantic City, and Muhammad Ali walk right by you. It was the place, as we've known much more history, like a Martha's Vineyard. People. Lots of Blacks came to Atlantic City from the 40s to the 60s because it was this beautiful Black-owned North Side, just providing entertainment and a beautiful backdrop, and it was safe. So it was a large gathering hub. Yeah, if you're Black and you're trying to get something going, that might have been the spot to be at. I'm gonna tell you, in Atlantic City's Black high school, I think it was called Atlantic City High School. Every year, Mahalia, I forgot the period I read, but Mahalia Jackson came there and sang, for the first day of school. Yeah. Remember the father from the Fresh Prince, God rest his soul. I can't think of his name. He grew up in Atlantic City, and the lady that passed, that I interviewed for the book, she was his teacher when he was a kid. Yep.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
read he came back from Los Angeles for like her 80th birthday party or something. So and she might have had him in elementary school. So, it's a special kind of people, special kind of energy. I think people had hope, and Black people seem to have looked out for one another. And yes, they were dealing with racism, but they were creating Black dollars. So out of necessity, they're an early demonstration of, once we had our freedoms and had begun to create Black universities, what you didn't do for us, we figured out how to do for ourselves. I interviewed a former judge. I think he's retired now, uh, Judge Nelson, and he wrote a book called The North Side. So I read his book from cover to cover because to me that was like the Black encyclopedia. It just wasn't written by one of us, but it was written out of with much integrity, and so I have a great deal of respect for him. Um, he I told him, I said, with in these times, right, like in the mid 1940s, with racism still being an issue in America, because it was, and yeah, and we're still divided. And I said, how did this type of cooperation happen in a city without any pushback? What do you think? And he told me he thinks because it was such a small town that If the Black people suffered, then white Atlantic City suffered as well. So they kind of said, we're not going to help you, but we're not going to stop you from creating your own ways to make it.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That's deep. I love what you're sharing with us. And this should be inspiring each and every one of us. Those who are listening live and those who's going to listen later on the replay, this should inspire you to go and check and research and find more about our history. It's American history. You know what I'm saying? Not just Black history, it's American history. And oh, come on. Woo, you got me inspired. So I'm just praying that everybody who listen here will go out to the you got the internet right there. You have your local libraries. You have places to go to get information. Get this information and don't be greedy. Just keep it to yourself, but be willing, like Cheryl did, to share it with everybody else. Cheryl, we're not done. We're gonna take a quick break, then we'll come and going to ask a few more questions before we end the podcast. But I have something I want to share with everybody, so let's do that. Hello, everyone. This is J Melane, also known as Wise, and I am sponsored by EYP Coaching, and they want to talk about the life languages that definitely will be a very big blessing to you. So check this out.
Imagine if you could write your own story for the new year, a story that disrupts everything you've done in the past. This isn't just a dream, it's a journey, and EYP Coaching is here to guide you. At EYP, we're more than just coaches. We are life architects, your partners in a transformative journey of self-discovery and growth. We personalized our guidance to fit you perfectly. It's never a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about listening, understanding, and collaborating with you. As life architects, we help you build not just goals, but a vision for your life that resonates with who you truly are and where you aspire to be. Imagine a coaching experience that merges the power of human insight with the precision of AI, a blend of technology and personal touch that offers solutions tailored just for you. It's not about changing who you are, but enhancing how you connect, lead, and grow. As a special gift to the Wise Going Live at 5 listeners, scan this QR code now for an exclusive 10% discount. Make sure you stay connected with us at www.eypcoaching.com so that you can embrace the new, take the leap, and look forward to the journey that lies ahead.
And we want to thank EYP Coaching for being sponsor for Wise Going Live at 5. And like I said, the 7 life languages will definitely change your life. It definitely has been very beneficial to me and allowed me to actually be more efficient as far as my communication, but also to be able to identify how to communicate to others and I guess you said make the life adjustments so you can make life more productive. So we thank you, EYP Coaching. And now we go back to the show for some more questions and responses from Cheryl W. Brooks. Our show was dropping 24 karat gold bars, and I hope everybody was picking that up. So what we're gonna do? I got two more questions, then we're gonna wrap it up. And you have been dropping straight knowledge, and I really appreciate it. So thank you for sharing this information, our history that identify us as a people. Not everything gotta be gloom and doom. Even through the 20s to the 60s, we as a people were making things happen. Even though the resource, quote, from the system didn't want us to do things, our people used their skills, they corroborated, and they made things happen. So them photos actually demonstrate, you can see photos of pain, you see photos of people was happy during that time that made the best out of their lives. So amazing. With that being said, I have this question to ask you, Cheryl. All right. All right. You have spoken at universities and museums about Chicken Bone Beach. What message do you hope audience will take away from your presentations on African American history and culture?
Um, I really, with Chicken Bone Beach, wanted to leave just a pin drop on Earth that uh, at some point in history, this population of people were facing um, many challenges and racism and on and on. But in spite of all of that, they found a way to become well off business owners, uh, providing a service to their community as well as others of their race. At a time, at a time when just racial tension was at an all-time high. Just take a snapshot and see and learn from these people the importance of what being a community that looks out for each other looks like. Uh, and look at this demonstration of resiliency of a people. So I really wanted uh, to get that message across, and now I'm doing the same in what I'm writing now, just from a broader perspective, from a wider lens. I just want to tell and preserve um, the truth of history in the world, um, despite the fact that you know um, there there are book bans and um, people and groups that make these attempts to sweep the truth under the rug. I uh, I am here to serve as a truth teller. I'm just doing my job and shining the light, the truth on a snippet of history. Uh, I'm not trying to make anybody mad or um, ruffle any feathers, but sometimes that just happens when you're uh, marching on.
Agreed. Agreed.
So I do plan to write the truth as it has been documented or told, whatever the case may be. I want it to go on record. I want everything I wrote to be in the Smithsonian. I want to, I want to, I want our people to come together and build our own spaceship, just like what's the young man that did tells Elon, and put our knowledge on another planet, like I'm sure these other governments are. Yeah, I would go that far to say they would try to omit the truth. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Our person, the deity that's most followed was crucified for telling the truth. Uh, so it comes with, I guess, what I see myself here to do. I want to leave the knowledge, and you take from it uh, what you can and learn from it, and learn that if you're a really young kid and you read this, what will you do differently in your neighborhood? What would you do in your community? If you grow up and you happen to become a councilwoman, how are you going to treat your fellow constituents? So I want people to also, I want them to be informed, and I want them to be sparked, to be called to action to do what's right in the world.
I love that. Do what's right in the world. I love what you said. I just want to be a truth teller. A truth teller. just identify. I got saying, I don't want people just to be informed. I want them to be transformed. And that's actually scripture based. Be transformed by the renewing of their mind. When you get information like this, it's sure not just inform you, but something inside you should transform the way you think and shift your thought process to be more active, more productive, and being more involved. And what you are doing currently is causing us to be more involved. Looking back at our past, also identify how we are moving forth in our future. Definitely what you're doing by taking a look at this past definitely show us how our future, what it is, should be, and what it's not as well. So we need to preserve our history. Need to preserve. Don't let people forget, because the thing is, like you said, the system, I call it the system, if they have a way that will erase everything, we'll forget. But it's up to us to share books like this to go ahead and purchase those people. So like I said, the links are in the below the like button, and go and check the description and go and purchase this book. It's an amazing book, and you'll see amazing photos of our people that are they celebrating themselves. They having good time. They showing things that we should be able to live today. I just repeat, this is just a little bit. It's so much detailed information in this book. And Cheryl, we appreciate you doing this. Now I got one more question for you, okay? All right. Define the word life and what life means to you.
Right. Life is like a box of chocolates. You just don't know. You guys just dig in and try one. Yeah, life is a roller coaster ride. Yeah, just fasten your seatbelt. Yeah, life for me is, I guess, since now I've been on this journey long enough to see joy and sorrow and good and bad, and fashions repeat themselves and music trends come back. Um, I think um, we're ever changing. So life is a lot easier if you just go with the flow, which is why I mentioned the box of chocolates and because one day everything will be sunshine, and then sometimes it's rain, and sometimes it is struggle, sometimes it is pain. So it's the human experience to experience different emotions, but you don't appreciate them when you're going through them. That's why when you're a baby, you cry about everything that don't go your way, right? Everything. No. Um, yeah, life is a journey, and I say, since I like to pose, challenge yourself to be the best version of yourself that you believe you can be. Because whatever that is, God thinks 10 million times more of you. Yep. Go ahead. Leap. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Leap, everybody, leap. Life is a journey. Life is a journey. And while we own this journey, we go, like you said, our ups and downs. But while, I'll go back to the beginning, go ahead and take a box of chocolate with you as well when you go on this journey. But life is what, like you said, it has its journey, and it's up to us to be willing to take that leap. So we thank you. We thank you for sharing that. One more thing. How can people find you? So tell everybody where they can find Cheryl W. Brooks.
So, and please follow me. I am on most social media uh, sites as Cheryl W. Brooks, just like we have it in the chat. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on whatever this new Twitter is till as long as it's here. I go with the flow. I gotta go where the people go. I ain't gotta be of the world to be, you know, in it.
You
Doing
saying you enlarge your territory. You saying everywhere you can be reached, you can be reached. I love it. Cheryl W. Brooks. She make it
oh
easy about.
yeah, oh I'm sorry. And my website is Cheryl-W-Brooks.com. Please buy my book there and you'll get an autographed copy because it'll come directly to me
And she's
and
is
not
correct.
other
Let me
places.
do this again one more time for everybody. And you do get an autograph signature because you go to her website. Go to her website. She mentioned all of the links will be in the description. So, so you can definitely check it out, click on it, and actually purchase this wonderful book for your investment in yourself. You're not buying it just for Cheryl. You're buying it for investment in yourself. I truly believe that. Cheryl, it's an honor. Thank you very much. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up this podcast. You've been so amazing.
Thank
So
you for
stick
having
around.
me. Really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Hey everyone, this has been an amazing podcast, and we thank Cheryl W. Brooks again for dropping 24 karat gold bars and letting everybody know what's up with our American history, well, Chicken Bone Beach and other things as well. So we want to thank everybody who came in. Again, hit the like button, subscribe, share. We growing the community here. There gonna be some new upcoming things that gonna be on here. Wise going live at 5. So I want you guys to be ready so you're gonna be able to hear these things and we're gonna be able to get more people involved. So like I said, we're here to build a community and we're gonna bring people on, and even myself, I'm gonna share things on this platform that hopefully that will empower and then inspire you so you can go out and live a more productive life and be the best version of yourself. Again, thank everyone. And my motto is love is an action word. While you taking the time to love yourself, make sure you show love to someone else. You all have an amazing weekend. Again, we see you next week on Wise is going live at 5. Take care, everyone. Peace.